Hi, how you guys doing today? Happy Saturday. Am I live? Hi, blessed Louise. How you doing? Okay, yes, we are live. What's up? What's up? You guys, I was supposed to do this video in the morning, this live stream in the morning, but I couldn't stand up from my bed. Actually, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do it today. That's in the morning. That's why I didn't announce it yesterday. But I remember that in the last live, someone was saying that what of, as in someone was asking what of, my North American audience. So I decided to just do this live in the evening instead. If you guys are just joining me, please say hi. Yeah. So let's do it in the evening instead so that those of us who are in the US or Canada or those countries, you guys will have the opportunity to join if you're free. Yeah. This live is not going to be so long because I'm hungry and I've not even prepared food for my family. So I've not prepared food for my family, so we're going to just be here for like 1 hour ish. But subsequently, maybe next time, I will try and start the live like 7 p.m. so that more people can join and so that would have been done with some house chores first. Hi, Olaiton. Hi, Oluwaseun. Hi, Anna. Hi, Live Jude, or is it Jude? Anyway, hi, welcome. So today we're going to be talking about this video from Pastor Lazarus, and also a response kind of video that I saw on the topic. Okay, and basically the topic is about women staying in abusive or stressful marriages. It doesn't have to be like actually abusive or physically abusive, but basically stressful marriages. And to me, this topic has been kind of overflogged. To be honest, I didn't want to talk about it initially because in my mind I was like, whatever you want to do, do. Okay, if you want to go, go. If you don't want to go, stay. Now you sabi. Now you sabi. It is your journey. It is your personal life. Whatever you want to do, do. However, I feel like it's a topic that we need to discuss over and over again, just so that it can sink into people's heads, or people can be more resolute in their resolve. Does that make sense? Yeah. So you know for a fact what you think is best. It's better for you to it's not better. Like I feel like it's a beneficial conversation that can help everybody shape their decision or thought pattern. So if you feel like, yeah, maybe you're not sure what will happen or what will not happen, when we discuss these things, you will be sure what exactly you will do in your own situation. Some people might decide to stay even after everything. Some people will still stay, but it doesn't matter. I feel like whatever you decide to do in your marriage, just make sure that you are making the right decision for yourself and you can live with yourself after making that decision. Some people made decisions that they regret today. However, at the time they were making that decision, it was the best decision they could come up with the information they had. Okay, so videos like this will help us have more information so that we can make better decisions. Okay, I'm not here to try and influence anybody one way or the other. I'm only going to state my opinion, and hopefully, you guys can state your opinions as well. And we're also not here to come and bash Pastor Lazarus, because some people have that idea that whenever we talk about topics like this or we bring videos of pastors like this, that we're here to bash the pastor. He has preached so many nice messages, so many good messages. Why didn't you people, talk about it then? Why is it this one you want to talk about? This one that now. That's why I put on the thumbnail, food is ready. Because yes, once I saw that video, I was like, food is ready. Both the defenders of the universe, food is ready for them, and then the ones that are always on the other extreme, food is ready for all of us. So everybody, whether you are in between somewhere, which I usually fall in most times, I'm usually somewhere in between. Whichever situation you are in, food is ready for us. Okay, so let us discuss. I'm going to play that video in a jiffy. But you guys, welcome, Doriana. Yeah, Honey's Lifestyle, Ewusiwa. You guys are welcome. Please like this video, share this video We also have super chat available if you want to support my channel. Thank you so much. The makeup is giving. Oh, thank you. I filmed this hair video today. I actually lazily did this makeup. Oh. Normally, you guys know now, I wake up in the morning and then come here do live, or even if I started doing the live, I used to do my makeup in the morning and then film like 3 or 4 videos. But today, I think I woke up like maybe 8 o'clock. Then before I dragged myself, I did this makeup around 11. I now filmed. So I was like, it's not me to just waste it and wash it off. Let me talk to you guys, okay? Hi, welcome, welcome. So please remember, share this video, like this video, and also super chat is available if you want to support me, or if you want me to read like your comments immediately or whatever, then you can do that with a super chat. And yeah, so let's just play Pastor Lazarus's video. And I want to add this, right? This is not the full clip. Okay, this is just the one I saw on social media. I tried to find the full clip, but except somebody directs me to it, it's not going to be easy to find the full clip. So we don't have the full context of his of the talk of the conversation. We don't have the full context. Okay, I have to put it out there. However, based on just this small clip that we are watching, we are going to give our opinions. Okay, again, we're not here to fight the pastor. So for those of you that always feel offended when you question anything a pastor says, we're not here to fight. We're not fighting the messenger. We are only dissecting the message. Kabish? Understood? Yeah, so let's play the clip first. So this is... this... No,
that the society tells you that if your husband is stressing you, pack your load and go.
Let me know if you guys can hear it clearly.
That the real heroes of many homes are the mothers who have chosen to stay because of the children. What the society tells you is that your child is not enough reason for you to go through what you're going through. It is a wrong culture. We are raising girls who are ready to opt out once it is stressful. They are having marriages that are very weak. It is no longer for better, for worse. If God has blessed you with a mother who stayed, don't let her die before you know what God gave you. That you know if you were in her shoes, you would have left and she stayed. Sometimes we don't know what we are talking about. The prayers the mother brings to the table, the intercession. Even when they too, they are not fine, but they keep praying. It is a lot. We must not have a generation of young ladies who can't pay prices for their children. We will have a broken generation. There is a lot we have to deal with ahead of us, because this girl is coming to this marriage with the mindset of, if you stress me, I will find my way. They are very quick to respond to the conflict in a way that shows that they don't mind it ending. How do you get married but you don't mind living alone again? You know that the society...
Okay, so you guys heard the clip. Okay, you guys said loud and clear. So you guys heard the clip. Pastor Lazarus is talking about basically Pastor Lazarus or Pastor Femi. Let me become Pastor Femi. So Pastor Femi is talking basically about, this concept of women leaving marriages anyhow for just any flimsy reason, because we have been taught that, once your husband stresses you, you should leave. Okay, and he's saying that, if you have a mother who stayed in a tough situation for her kids, then you should actually thank God for that mother, because it's not easy, and that the mothers that stay are the real heroes and whatever. Anyway, you guys heard the clip, right? And to be honest, when I heard this clip, I was like, hey. I don't know how many of you are hearing it for the first time, but when I first heard it, I was like, are we still talking about this in 2024? Are we still talking about this in 2024? Now, I'm not here to knock the pastor, right? Again, like I said, it's just based on this clip. I've heard some of his preaching. In fact, a lot of his preaching, because I actually follow him. I've not heard this particular one on his page, but I actually follow him, and I've heard a lot of his clips, and most of them I agree with him. I don't think I've ever seen any clip of his I didn't really agree with, except this one. Okay, so I'm not here to say, oh, he's preaching rubbish or he's not preaching rubbish or whatever. But the points that he's making here, I am not understanding. Okay, I am not understanding, because I feel like this is 2024. We have moved on from this topic several times. I feel like we have moved on several times. She said, Life of Zin says, I don't even know what to respond. I'm surprised it came from Pastor Femi. Yes, I'm surprised. That's why I was trying to look for the full clip, because I was like, no, like I know this pastor. I don't know him personally or anything, but I know this pastor. Like he cannot be preaching this kind of preaching and without context, right? But let's just assume that he did that, because again, one thing people keep forgetting, and I keep trying to remind everybody, is that pastors are human beings, okay? Are human beings, okay? They are as much flesh and blood as you and I. They are as fallible, or they are prone to making mistakes the same way you and I are prone to making mistakes, okay? They have so many things that they say that are that is also coming from their upbringing, their culture, their personality. So many of those things are infused into what they preach, right? So it's left for you to use your sense and filter what is right or what is not right, or what applies to you or what doesn't apply to you, okay? So let's remember that pastors are human beings. You cannot always agree with them 100%, except the Bible is clear on such matters, okay? So what I mean is this: what we would use to say whether or not a pastor is right is what is written in the Bible. It's not about what you think or what I think or what he thinks. It's about what does the Bible say about this thing? What does God say about this thing? Where does the scripture stand on this particular topic? Okay. And for me, one of the things I always try to remind everybody is that even God has deal breakers. Okay. God that loves us so much that he sent his only son to come and die for us and to bring us back to him, so that whoever believes in him will have eternal life. Okay. Jesus that went on the cross and suffered and bore the shame and the beatings and the whatever, the slander, the everything that he bore just for our sake. Even God has deal breakers. So who am I? Who am I? Even God, I don't get it. Even in the Bible, there is a way out of bad marriages, especially when there's infidelity. There is a way out. So why are we still advising women in 2024 that you stay for your children? In what sense are we staying for our children? Like, let's break it down actually, because there are so many reasons why people stay for their children. Okay. So for instance, now, me personally, if I was to tell the truth, okay, I'm telling the truth actually, but if I'm to tell the truth, I have deal breakers, right? In my marriage, I don't think I have seen those deal breakers, right? So I will not come here and tell you guys that it will be easy for me to leave my husband. That is just the facts. I'm not one of those women that I'll be like, I don't care. Like maybe he talks too much, or he raises his voice at me, or he does want, like, there are so many people that have flimsy reasons for not liking their partners, right? I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those people. I don't have flimsy reasons for. I will never have flimsy reasons for leaving my marriage, because my husband is a good husband and he's a good father, especially that father part, right? He's a very good father. So me personally, I always tell myself that there's nothing like irreconcilable differences between me and my husband. Nothing like that. Whatever it is, we go reconcile. You're tired of me, sleep and wake up, go and drink water, go and eat. Maybe you're hungry. It cannot be me. You can't be tired of me. Maybe you're hungry. When you finish eating and you wake up, we will continue this marriage, because I know what I am gaining here. I know what it is for my children. I know what I'm seeing in my children. I know what I want for my children and what I want for my life. So I remember I was telling you guys that I didn't really have a choice when we were supposed to relocate to the UK. Like when he told me about our relocation to the UK, I personally did not think I really had a choice, because I know that I love my husband. I want to live with my husband, and I want us to be together, right? So I didn't really have a choice of, I don't want to go, I want to stay in Nigeria. You go. I didn't have a choice, because I know what I want for myself. Okay, so that's why I always try to put this disclaimer out there, so that nobody will come and say I told them to leave their marriage. Meanwhile, my own marriage is sweeting me. I'm not telling you to leave or not leave. If you want to stay there, that's on you. Okay. Just make sure that you are happy with your decision, because people like me are not about to leave. Okay. However, that's being said, my sister, you cannot stay with an abusive man now. Like, don't you like yourself? Don't you like your life? Don't you love your children? You can't stay with an abusive man. Hi, Onyinye is here. Yay, that's my sister. Hi, Onye. Yes, even God has deal breakers, my sister. Don't you like? Why will you stay with an abusive man? Don't you like yourself? Why will you stay with a cheat, a man that is always, cheating and, fornicating with other people, whatever, committing adultery, bringing in diseases, not just even bringing in diseases, even if he protects himself, from diseases, right? He's bringing a third party into your marriage, or in fact, some of you is more than third party at this point. It's 20th party. 20th party. He's bringing all kinds of parties into your marriage. He's exposing you to all kinds of spiritual and physical attacks because you don't know who he's dealing with. You don't know who he's sleeping with. You don't know what that person wants from him. It might not just be the money. It might not just be the money. In fact, if all your husband's side chick wants from him is money, then you are good. It might not just be that. Okay, so there are so many things that you are exposing yourself to if you stay with such a man. So don't you like yourself? So I beg, like when we come and say things like, "Hi Chigozie," when we come and say, okay, Olaitan is saying, in my opinion, I don't think Pastor referred to domestic violence in this video. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping if we see the full context, the full video, then we'll understand where he's coming from, right? Because again, he's referring to women these days who are living for flimsy excuses. And I'll get to that because I personally don't believe that women are living for flimsy excuses. Is it not this Nigeria that, well, I'm not in Nigeria, but it's not Nigerian women that me, I know. Hey, is it not Nigerian women that me and you know? Are Nigerian women living for flimsy excuses? Hey, I don't think so. If a Nigerian woman leaves her marriage, that thing must be strong. It must be strong. Even in our generation, for a Nigerian woman in our generation to leave her marriage, in most cases, it must be strong. Now, I'm not saying that, divorce rate has not increased. People are now taking less bullshit. I get that, right? But even the less bullshit we're taking is still a lot compared to our Oyibo counterparts, okay? What we feel like flimsy reasons, what we're calling flimsy reasons, they can't even imagine it in this country. Some of these people cannot even imagine staying for that kind of reason, right? So at the end of the day, what was I trying to say, Seth? Yes, I know he might not be saying domestic violence, but I feel like that's part of saying people want to just leave if your husband stresses you. I don't think it's so true. Nigerian women and me, I know. You guys set yourselves, so set your heart and think. Oh, and Nigerian women really like upping and living just like that for no reason. I don't think so. Let me just read some comments. Mothers that have died don't call because they stayed in a domestic violence home. Yes, that's how the gospel singer died. I beg you. Exactly. And again, even if we remove domestic violence, there are all kinds of things that can kill you spiritually and physically without it being direct impact. So he might not beat you to death, right? But a man can frustrate you so much that you will be sick physically. Have you ever been in a situation where you are heartbroken and you can feel like your chest is about to break? You are like somebody broke up with you or broke your heart or whatever, and you can literally physically feel the pain in your chest. So imagine living in a situation where that is the norm over and over again. Such person can actually die. They will say she died of heart attack or she died of one thing, or it will have a name. But if you go deep down, some of them is cancer, right? But if you go deep down to the cause of that cancer, or the cause of that heartache, the cause of that whatever, food addiction, alcohol addiction, or eating disorder, whatever it is that can lead to so many women's death, if you go down, deep down, deep down, deep down, you will see that it was caused by the kind of man she was married to. Okay, whether directly or indirectly. So at the end of the day, domestic violence is not even the only situation that can lead to a woman's death in a marriage, okay? The same thing with cheating. You might say, he did not kill her, but what if he gave her a disease that she treated and next thing she died? Or what if he even gave her a disease that she treated and she died from the side effect of the medicine? There are so many scenarios, my dear. My imagination can go haywire. So there are so many scenarios that we can think of. Which means if you are dying, that you should stay because of your children or what? Exactly. That's what I don't even understand, because he's saying that they'll be praying, or the prayers of the mother. I want us to actually understand one thing, right? The fact that you remove yourself from a dangerous situation does not mean that you now have hate in your heart. It doesn't mean that you now, you hate your husband or you hate the man. You might actually still love the man. You might actually still be sympathetic towards the man, okay? But you can pray for him from the other side now, like a different household, a different location, in a new marriage, in a new man with a new man. You can pray for your ex-husband in the house. In fact, you and your new husband can pray for your ex-husband. Like, why must you be there and be praying that prayer inside there? Can't you leave? Can't you excuse yourself? Um Blessed Louise said, "Me in my good marriage can never leave for a flimsy reason. But if I come and tell you that I'm leaving, know that there is a reason. My marriage is sweeting me. I pray for everyone to enjoy theirs." Thank you so much. Like, you just typed out my whole experience or my thoughts in that comment. That's how I feel as well. Okay, if tomorrow, because I keep saying I'll not leave, but if tomorrow you see that I left, just know that the reason was strong. The reason was strong, and I feel like that should be how marriage would that's how marriage should be. You guys, I'm actually tired, so let me be drinking water first. So I feel like that's how marriage should be, right? I feel like if you marry the right person, it will be hard for you to want to leave, right? It will be hard for you to even imagine a scenario where you will leave. But some people are married to terrible human beings that are terrible human beings. So it's not difficult for you to, envision leaving the person. But if you're married to a good person that you know that like what people complain about, you don't have such complaints in your marriage, all those things that are keeping women up at night, you don't have it in your marriage. So why would you just leave? Why would you just up and leave? I don't think any right thinking person would leave a good situation, or not even a good situation self, would leave a normal situation. Like, it might not even be so fantastic, but it's not that bad. I don't think a right thinking person would just carry her bags and leave, even in our generation. Maybe the next generation, maybe amongst the younger Gen Zs, maybe. But I don't think anybody in our generation now, you have a good man, but he's annoying you. You will not carry your bags and go. I don't think so, especially when you have children. Especially when you have children, and I can't really picture the flimsy reasons in quotes that we say women live for. Because I have friends that are married though, and trust me, when we want to complain about our husbands here, the book will be full. If we want to do group chat and complain about our husbands, WhatsApp will not have enough space for us, right? But I don't think any of my friends will just up and leave just because your husband is not doing this for you. Your husband, I don't think so. Like, oh, your husband can be annoying sometimes because men are annoying. Like, we know those things. That's one thing that I have really enjoyed about social media, the fact that people are putting out information out there that is like, oh my god, you just described my husband verbatim, or you're like, oh my god, so men are actually like this, so it's not just my husband, so men are plenty. And the same thing vice versa. There's some things I see that some men complain about with other women, and I'm like, okay, so this thing is a woman thing, it's not a me thing, right? So yeah, like, we all have experiences, but I don't think it's something that most people will just up and leave. I don't really see. Let me read more comments. What I understand from what you just played, first time watching it, is that if your mother stayed for you as a child, you should appreciate her because she went through it. Yeah. Yeah, I think we should know. I mean, of course, now, like, whether she stayed or she did not stay, please appreciate your mothers, especially if you had a mother that was there for you, and a good mother, because we have bad mothers. Let's not get it twisted. There's some bad mothers, okay, even though they're not that many, but they are really bad mothers. So if you have a good mother, always appreciate your mothers. In fact, I was telling my sister the other day that the older I have gotten, the more I sympathize with my mother so much. Like, I now give excuses for my mom, left, right, and center. All the things that we used to complain about. My mom does this, my mom did that. Now that I am way older and I have my own children, I now excuse all those things because, my dear, in fact, with the hand that life dealt her, she actually did well. Like, she actually did a lot for us as her kids, right? Like, my mom did a lot. I don't even want to go into it in this video. She did a lot for us with the hand that life dealt her, right? So if you have your mother with you, appreciate your mother, do what you can for her, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that you must follow in her footsteps, okay? You don't have to always learn from your own experience. You can learn from your mother's experience, okay? He also mentioned where he said, there's a part he mentioned that he said, if you if you know that your mother stayed in a situation where you would have left, appreciate her. Good and fine, appreciate her, but doesn't mean that you should now stay too because your mother stayed. No, doesn't mean that, especially when you can tell that what she stayed in and what she endured was terrible. I think what makes me feel sad the most is when I think of women who are just enduring their life. They're just enduring their life because of marriage. Why? Marriage was made to be sweet. Marriage was meant to make you a better person. Marriage was never meant to limit you. Okay, because when I see women saying things like, even people advising other women, do this so before you get married, or hey, do that one before you get married, or once you get married, I'm like, what are people talking about? It's like, what are you talking about? There's nothing I can even say now that I'll say, do before you get married, though, because once you get married, it means that you're getting married to the wrong person. If you feel like your life will be over, you won't be able to make money, you won't be able to excel in your business or your job or your career or whatever it is, just because you got married, then that is a wrong marriage for you, because two heads, at least two good heads, are supposed to be better than one. How can you be worse off when you add another person to your life? It shouldn't be so. You shouldn't be worse off by adding somebody to your life. You should be better off. So if you think marriage is going to limit you or marriage limits women, then they are in wrong marriages, because I know for a fact that I have experienced and seen so many people in marriages that marriages skyrocketed their lives, like skyrocketed their success, their everything about them just went from 1 to 1,000 because they got married. It's not even that they married up per se. It's not even the cases of some women that married very rich men and all of a sudden they became millionaires overnight. I'm not even talking about such men. I'm talking about, responsible young women who married responsible young men who were just okay financially, and the moment they got married, because it's now two heads working together, they both elevated like exponentially, or whatever the English is, right? So if your thoughts about marriage is that, let me quickly do this, because marriage is, or if your thought is that, I wish I had done this thing before I got married, or because now my life is over, then you're married to the wrong person and maybe you should exit left. Okay. You're married to the wrong person. Wait, why am I even chewing gum? So let me remove this gum from my mouth. Yeah, so Bethy is saying, what is the definition of flimsy excuses? What you think is flimsy for you might be a deal breaker for me. Much love from Canada. Thank you so much, Bethy, because that is a very, 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 very good point. Okay, because human beings are different. Our threshold for bullshit is different. Our pain levels are different. Okay, so if you are feeling like, this thing, I can't tolerate it, or why will another woman stay in a marriage that has this particular thing, because me, I can't take it. Maybe to her that is not even a deal breaker. Maybe to her is the one you're even enduring in your own marriage that is her own deal breaker. So at the end of the day, yeah, you're actually right. It just depends on the person. Better Louise says, God forbid, though, God forbid, Sha, I will never have a reason to leave. Yes, me too. I pray, God forbid, we'll never have a reason to leave. However, life can happen, but it won't happen to us in Jesus' name. Amen. I've watched the full video and he said, if the man is beating you, you should leave first so that it won't be your corpse people should come and carry. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. I like that he clarified that. Okay. But again, that's why I'm saying that clip can be misleading, because domestic violence is not the only deal breaker that people should have, right? It shouldn't be, oh, you don't have to die to be dead. Let me put it that way. You don't have to be physically dead to be dead. So people are dead inside, like they are dead inside. They have nothing to live for. They're just counting down to the grave and they are married. So to me, it should be, we should have that conversation and make it more, or make it more elaborate. Okay, it should be a well-rounded conversation. And I think one of the major issues I always have with such clips and such preaching and such talk is that, why are we always advising women? Why is it always women? Eh? From the understanding I have of the Bible, from the understanding that me I have, in case maybe I'm understanding the Bible differently, when God created the earth, he created Adam first, to put Adam in charge. Adam was already surviving, living, doing everything on his own, right? He now saw that Adam was lonely or alone. He wasn't lonely, he was alone, whatever. Like Adam needed a partner to help him with, dominating and taking care of the earth before God now gave Adam Eve. Eh? When Eve ate the apple that the serpent deceived her and she ate, when God came down to look for humans, basically, when God came down, it was Adam he called though. He didn't start from Eve. He called Adam. He asked Adam, Adam, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Adam say, I'm naked. He said, Adam, how do you know you're naked? Said the woman you gave me. Now so Adam take blame woman. It's like since that time, Adam has been blaming Eve. Since that time, Adam has been blaming Eve. Eve has not drank water and dropped cup since that time. Yeah? Okay, the serpent deceive Eve. Eve now told you, don't you have sense? Didn't you have sense to say, oh, no, this is not what God told us? But no, you also ate the apple. So why have you been blaming Eve since the beginning of time? Why are we always blaming women? Why are we always preaching to women? Why are we always talking about women? Especially when it comes to marriages. It takes two to tango. For me, I feel like the topic should be majority on the men. Because if you see a good man that is raising good children and leading his house right, you will rarely see his wife being a bad person. Rarely. In the Bible, if you look at different instances, whenever things are going wrong in a family, God always asks the man first. All this Eli and his sons, what's the name of Eli's wife? What's her name? Did you see her name there? They didn't even say anything about her. I don't even know. I can't remember the story very well, but I can't remember anything about the Eli's wife. Now, there was no Eli's wife there. In so many stories, so many situations where even when it came to John the Baptist's father, right? God actually shut his father's mouth so that he will not say anything, Abi. I hope I'm telling the story well. He won't say anything, Abi. That's to show you that the man has a very big role to play in that matter, even though he was not the one giving birth to the child, though. It was the wife. But God went and shut the father's mouth so that the father, was not the father's mouth shut, Abi, father's ears. It's the mouth now. So the father will not say the wrong thing or something, right? To show you that it is important for the man to be in charge and to have sense. In fact, for me, I feel like it is more important for the man to have sense than for the woman to have sense. Because if you're in a home where the man has sense, the woman will somehow adjust. But if you're in a home where the woman has sense, no matter how she wants to have sense reach, if the man doesn't want to adjust, he will not adjust because men are very stubborn. And you will see the woman suffering and going down. So what is it? Can't we just leave women alone? Every time we're preaching, women should always do this, women should dress like this. Even when they want to preach about men, that's the funny part. Even when they want to make it a well-rounded discussion, they'll use 2 minutes to preach about men. You men too now, take care of your wives, stop complaining about your wives, help her. They'll just talk about it 2 minutes, sharp, it don't end. Then they will now use the rest of the sermon to focus on women. Why? People have not tired. Okay, that heartbreak one, I felt that pain before. I didn't believe it. Yes, I couldn't explain it. Only me understand. Now only me understand what I feel. I'm telling you, you can feel heartbreak. You can even feel sadness, and you can physically feel it. Like it's not in your head. It's in your body. Like you can physically feel down, physically feel sick, physically feel emotional. I remember how when my younger brother got missing, I actually was taking him to school, and our hands separated on the road, relay, and he got missing. I felt so sick that the next day my period started. This period that just ended like few days ago or whatever, or a few weeks ago. My period started the next day. There was a physical reaction to an emotional stress that I went through. So that a man did not beat his wife to death does not mean that he did not beat her to death, if you get what I mean. Hi Adeze, finally caught a live. Love your shirt. Sending hugs your way. Thank you. Let me not show you the full the full inscription of the shirt. Thank you. Oh, Faith. Oh, Faith sent me a super chat. Thank you so much, Faith. God bless you. I really, really appreciate the super chat. Omo, now I have energy to talk more. Dr. Louis said, I've seen flimsy reasons, so, but it comes from a lack of maturity, both from the wife and the husband. Yes, I was about to say this thing at one point. I think I wanted to say that. Okay, I think I even said it. That is usually the younger ones. Maybe, the younger ones. Maybe if I hear that a 21-year-old left her marriage, I can understand. can understand. But let me tell you something, once women start getting older and you have kids, it's so difficult, especially when the man is providing financially. It's very difficult. It's not easy. So if you see a woman that even with all of that, she said, nah, I'm going to leave, then it's not easy. Oh. Ngozi said, it's true. Most of our generation don't leave marriage easily. I've known an English lady and Sierra Leone lady who left their husbands for no justifiable reason. Nigerian women know how to take BS. Exactly. P.S. I have a very wonderful husband. Exactly, my sister. Nigerian women, the ones me I know, we can only complain on our group chat. I can't believe my husband did this. On the internet, we can only complain. But in real life, many women are not living. Even the ones that, even you that are even that even types this thing now, even the ones that you cannot take, many Nigerian women will take it very well. So at the end of the day, you are very right. It's not our people don't really live like that. Oh. For English people, for white people, for Igbo people, I can understand. And I feel like sometimes because of how global the world is now a global village and how social media works now, we are seeing content from all over the world. I feel like sometimes in our brains we conflate these things and we feel like Nigerians are doing like we say women do this. Meanwhile, our mind is going to Oyibo women more. Do you understand? Or what Igbo women do, we'll just say women do it, Nigerian women do this. But it's not Nigerian women. Oh, you really think about it, it's not Nigerian women. Olaito Alao says, my husband is the best. Oh, thank you. After my husband, he's number 2, my husband number 1. No, but seriously, like there are very good men out there. And I love the fact that Olaito said this because I feel like as much as I'm saying that we should also, preach to the men, I feel like we also somehow vilify men a lot. Like most of the trending topics is always about terrible men, terrible men, terrible men. Like people like you that have good examples and love your husbands and feel like your husbands are the best. I feel like our stories should be shared more so that the younger generation of men can even see what to learn from or see who to learn from. And the older ones that are misbehaving can see their mates. See your mate, see what your wife is saying, see what your mate's wife is saying about him. Meanwhile, your wife is dying inside. Okay. Victoria says, marriage is a union between two imperfect people. Mistakes will happen from both parties, and the first response should never be to leave, as long as it's not domestic violence, exactly, or cheating. Yeah, you are right, Adam. I don't understand our society. If the man is the head and the leader, why do these men always address the women and not the head? So is the woman now the head? Thank you. Is the woman now the head? Is the man not supposed to be the priest of his home? Is he not supposed to be the priest of his home? Is the woman supposed to be the prayer warrior? Isn't he supposed to be the man? Isn't it supposed to be like, I feel like all these things is years and years of social conditioning and our culture. We just make women look as if women are the everything. And no, we're not the everything. Oh, we're not the everything. Like men, you're supposed to be the head. You're supposed to be the priest of your home. You're supposed to be the one that will set the tone in your home. If you want your home to be a happy home, it should be the man that will set that tone. But most times you see that it's women that are setting the tone of how happy or sad the home should be. It's women that set that tone because the men are actually not present. You're not physically present, you're not mentally present, you're not emotionally present. The only one you manage to do is being financially present. And in this day and age where the economy is somehow, most men and women are working, a lot of women are doing so many big things now. A lot of women have gone to school and have, gotten higher education than even men. A lot of women are actually earning more than men now. You will now see that those finances are not anything new. Like it's not something that anybody should clap for you for, because the woman can also do it and women are also doing it. So you see women now that are even out earning their husbands, and in the nearest future it's going to even be worse. I mean, the statistics of women out earning men is going to be more. So you're going to have more richer women and poorer husbands, basically. So what are you bringing to the table aside money? What else are you now bringing to the table? Even though I don't like that bringing to the table conversation, but what else are you now bringing to the table? Because at the end of the day, spiritually you're not there, physically you're not there, mentally you're not there. Your children don't even know who you are. Your children don't know you. Like they only know you as someone that provides money. And it annoys me when men have this, hey, what do they call it now? They call it weaponized incompetence. Okay, so they pretend like they can't do anything so that the wife will take over. That thing irritates my soul. So women find it cute. I don't find it cute. I don't find it cute that your husband will pee and leave pee stains on the seats. I don't find it cute. My husband does not do it. He never did it. So I don't find it cute when man, you're making. My sister sent me one recently, and my sister was so mad. Me too, I was so irritated. Where a woman was saying, if I were to live like my husband, she now went, did as if she peed on toilet seat everywhere. Then what does she even do again? Say, open all the cabinets and left it open, threw clothes on the floor. Basically as if you're living with a toddler. No, it's not cute. Like no grown adult, especially a married man, not even, in fact, no grown adult, whether you're 18 or you're 72, no grown adult should be living like that. So let's not make it sound cute, okay? You should shame the men, name and shame the men for doing such things because it's not cute. So you will see women overworking themselves. Some women are overworking themselves, like physically they are overworked, mentally they are overworked, spiritually they are overworked. You are overworked from morning till night, and your husband is just moving around like a la di da di da di da. Like, there was one statistics I read that they said married men live longer than married women. Single women live longer than married men than single women live longer than married women, and married men live longer than single men. Just imagine. Whose blood are you sucking? Whose blood are you sucking? How come you're living your chances of living longer increase when you married me? Now my blood you dey suck, Abi. Now my life you dey suck. It's not gonna happen. It's not going to happen. Both of us were going to live the same amount, or I live longer. You cannot suck my blood. What is it? So at the end of the day, I just like we should stop excusing men and give, no, I beg, no, let me read comments, I beg. My first year of marriage, I was worried I made a mistake. The tendency to exaggerate issues is high, but realized it's basic misunderstanding and clash of character. Some would live for that. Yeah, that's true. I'll get to that now. Hi, Neze. Yay. You guys, Nezeville is here. My babe of life and afterlife. Yeah, Neze, see, I saw my yearbook from secondary school. I'm going to screenshot your page. I'm going to snap your page and send to you. I laughed. I just saw that book recently. Welcome. Hi, Rookie, Dim Man. Let's give this video a thumbs up, guys. Yes, please, you guys, give it a thumbs up. Here, there's a thank God I made this live. What are we discussing today? It's Pastor Lazarus's video. I'm also going to play a response here. Then we'll discuss that response as well. Okay, Helen, I just found your channel through Adeze and I have been binge watching your videos. Love your vibes. Yes, I'm here for the hugs. Yes, you guys go and watch Neze's channel. You will see your whole day and night will be filled. Like just put her channel on and just be watching. You will laugh and tire. Very interesting, both Nezeville and Neze Peperempe. Like very, very interesting. Okay, let me add this next clip now so that we can watch it and discuss afterwards.
Lazarus video, and I'm very, very disappointed because I actually thought it was one of the good ones. Preaching that women endure, that women of today, y'all don't want to pay the price. Y'all, any stress, you want to leave the marriage, you should stay for your children. Your mothers stayed for your children. They were our heroes. They were prayer warriors. We were with our mothers when they were praying. And their prayers, 90% of their prayers was for God to please restore their marriage. My father is a pastor, and every day there's a long line of women that are jumping from churches to churches, crying, begging God to restore their marriage. Why? Because men in this country have turned infidelity into a competitive sport. They have somehow figured out that most women come into a marriage to stay. That once the marriage is a done deal, they can do whatever they want. And we have been conditioned as a society to believe that marriage is supposed to be a place of pain and suffering. That it should actually be expected. That as a woman, you should prepare yourself and put on the armor of God. For a marriage that I lovingly entered, it is possible to have a good marriage. It is possible to have a healthy home. It is possible to have a home that is not dysfunctional for your children. Our children do not deserve this. We know what we went through growing up in the hands of various men who truly did not put their family and their home first. Mm-hmm. When they are finished providing, they will say, that's it. Shebi have paid the children's school fees. As if that is a badge of honor. As if anybody that pays your child's school fees is now a father. We really need to stop this nonsense. And religious leaders, pastors, if you're not qualified to speak on a topic, I think you need to zip it up. Literally, we need to just wrap up this little charade because it's not working. And most of you are men that have refused to call your fellow men. That let us stop this behaviors. Let us treat our home as the most important organization. Let us restore our home to the original design of God. Let us lead with dignity and respect. Instead of us to do that, we are busy running after women, trying to keep women small, trying to keep women in this box. And your advice for us is to step up our prayers, is to step up our perseverance, is to step up our stamina for rubbish. Well, let me tell you, a lot of us are leaving. I left my first marriage, and I know so many women that are leaving. And we are demanding better of our men. We are demanding better because guess what? Our children do not deserve a dysfunctional environment.
Yep.
No, they don't. And we deserve peace of mind. We deserve to live our lives stress-free. Everybody does. So please, women, this is a call to action. Do fall into this trap of, your children do not deserve to stay in an environment that even you are afraid of, in an environment that even you would not want to grow up in. Don't do it.
So she said a lot, and I actually agree with her, even though I didn't like that part where she was saying, if you're not qualified, or let's wrap this little charade up. I'm like, I beg, I like Pastor Femi, please, let's not talk to him like that. But, I totally agree with her. I feel like that's why I even felt like this topic, have we not overflowed this topic? Like, are we still talking about this in 2024? Are we still trying to excuse men and their weaponized incompetence? Are we still trying to control women instead? Are we still trying to control women instead? No, that should not be easy, because right now we have seen time and time again that no, there's a comment I saw here now. I wanted to highlight. She said, marriages that have problems are usually the men's fault, in my opinion. They are not men anyway, they are males. And this is so true. I'm not excusing women. No. I'm not saying that women are perfect angels, that just fell from the sky and are unfortunate to be in, marriages, right? I'm not saying that. Women too, we have our own wahala. If we want to open the page of women's wahala, it no go end today, okay? So women have their own issues in marriages. But I actually agree that in a lot of marriages, because of how we were raised, a lot of marriages, the problems are usually the men. Okay, the problems are usually the men. So you see that a lot of men don't even understand what it means to be married. Like, they don't get it. They feel like, and see, when we even get to all this submission conversation, let's not even enter there. Because if you go and read your Bible very, very well, you will see that what the Bible refers to as submission is not what is being preached today. Submission does not mean that a woman must now suspend her mental ability. She must suspend reasoning. She must suspend her intelligence and just follow a man like a fool. That is not the meaning of submission. That is why even in the Bible it says, submit one to another. Husband will submit to wife will submit to husband, because there's a reason why God gave your wife brains. There's a reason why God made your wife intelligent. Your wife went to school. Many of you, are married to educated women, even if she's not even educated. Let's even forget about education, because sometimes we conflate education with intelligence or education with sense, right? So your wife doesn't even have to have gone to even nursery school self. It does not mean that your wife has nothing to add to the family. It does not mean that your wife is dumb, right? But a lot of men don't get it. A lot of men just feel like they are the Lord and personal savior of their home. You are the Lord and personal savior when it comes to demanding for what you want, right? But you forget that our Lord and personal savior first came to this earth and died for our sins. So if you want to be the Lord in your home, can you die for your wife first? Can you die to yourself first? Can you put your needs last and put your wife's needs above yours? Can you do that? But a lot of men cannot. A lot of men cannot even imagine. Do you know? I've heard of see, those of us that marry good husbands, you don't know what God did for you. You don't know. You know, sometimes we just talk about these things and just laugh because sometimes I think what happens is that those of us who are in happy marriages, we don't really care to try and convince other people that marriage is good because we don't really care. We're happy, we're enjoying our life. Like, do you whatever, suffer your suffer alone. We're happy, we're good, and we don't want to come across as being proud or shoving it in other people's faces or rubbing it in other people's faces. But me and my friends, I know a lot of my friends that are married to very good men and are enjoying, in fact, they are so happy they're enjoying their marriages, right? They will not come out and tell you because, no, we don't have anything to lose. It's usually women who are suffering their marriages because they are pained. They want to come out and just, blast it out. They are just trying to, air their frustrations, right? So, what was I trying to say? I forgot what I was trying to say. But anyway, a lot of women are actually in good marriages and are enjoying their marriages. But the number of men that are not well are also high. Okay, the number of men that are also not, the head is not correct. So you see some men that they cannot sacrifice themselves. Like the only sacrifice they can make is bringing money. Like it's only their money they can sacrifice for their homes, right? They cannot sacrifice their time. There's some men that once they just go to work and come back, the next thing is they are facing their phone, they are pressing phone, they are watching TV, they are hanging out with their friends. Some men are leaving the house on Friday nights, coming back on Sunday nights or Monday morning and going to work after that. Why? Why? And I remember I was having a conversation with one of my friends recently. Somehow you know this men, no. Let's not even pretend. Some of you know these men, but the good ones are boring. That's just the truth, though. Good marriages are boring, oh. Let me put it out there now for anybody who is confused. For the most part, good marriages are boring. You're not having conflicts. There's no high highs and low lows. Everything is just zen. Everything is just in the middle. Everything is just nice. There's no fights that will now lead to gang makeup, makeup sex or makeup. Some people they beat them today, tomorrow they buy them Lamborghini. So, it's exciting. But some people they know they beat you, but they know they buy you Lamborghini. They know they carry you go anywhere. They will give you money, or you live a good life, but nothing extra exciting happening in the marriage. So good marriages are usually boring. Good men are usually boring men. That's just the truth. If you really want to break it down, they just want to worship their God, worship their wives, take care of their children, make their money, sleep, watch TV, and sleep. Finish. They're not interested in living the good life or paparazzi life. They're not interested in. They're not posing with you on social media. They're not posing with you on social media. They're not doing all those reels of there's some reels I used to see and I'm like, hey, I can't even imagine my husband filming this thing. Like some reels I see, I'm like, hey, my husband would never. You just see a woman wearing bomb shorts with half of her butt cheeks out with one crop top. Then she's now going to meet her husband on the couch. She'll now go and kiss him. He'll now put his hand in her bum. They will be filming it though. They're filming it for all of us. Put her in her bum. They'll now be there. She'll now caption it, when you meet your person or something stupid like that, right? Not stupid, but something funny like that. When I see such reels, I'm like, my husband will never. Like, just carry knife and choke him. He's not going to feel that kind of real with you, right? So, if you really think about it, they are boring. But my dear sister, boring is better. Boring is better. There's some kind of entertainment that will over you. You will be so excited, you will die of excitement. There'll be so much going on in your marriage that you will die of too much going on. So sometimes boring is better. Just stick to the. That's why I always tell people that sometimes people when I gist with some people like one-on-one and we're discussing some things, people will now be like, where did you find this your husband? I'm like, if he had come and meet you then, you would have said, who is this one? You would have said, I beg you. You wouldn't have married him. That's just the truth. There are so many good men that women are turning down daily because they're like, okay, the guy is so boring. Like, he will just call me and be asking me, what did you eat? Why did you do this one? Like, he doesn't even act like this. He doesn't even just spontaneously just wake up and, say, take me out. The guy is just so dry. I prefer the one that is yuppie, the one that dresses to the nines, okay? The one that is always going to the club, he's always balling, he's a baller, he's always spending on you, spending on your friends, spending in the club. That's kind of guy you want. You don't want the one that is just, nice and quiet and just there. You want the one that is always funny, he's always loud, he's always charismatic, everybody likes him, When you now enter marriage with that man, you will now be angry that he's too charismatic, that every time he's laughing with girls. Before uncle, not be how it take gets you, not be from that too much laugh, now attract you. The one that was not laughing anyhow, you thought he was boring and dry and nonsense. The one that was laughing anyhow, it was everywhere. That's how he got you. So now that you're married to him, every time girls are around him, he's paining you. Why is he paining you? Like, leave the man to live his life. He wasn't hiding before. You knew who he was. So anyway, let me read comments, Joe, before I talk too much. Even Dr. Shola, okay, let me see. Marriages, okay, I've read that one. Even Dr. Shola, I contacted to speak with, told me straight up that he doesn't like women, that we are too much. Meanwhile, he's actually married though, and is supposedly a therapist or whatever. This is ridiculous. Someone said that, I saw it on Twitter, that a lot of men are attracted to women, but they don't actually like women. And I kind of agree to an extent. I kind of agree. Okay, 117 of the beautiful Daisy Tribe family, but we only have 52 likes. Please, wrong now. Please, give this live a thumbs up, please. Yes, please, just give this live a thumbs up. If you are here, just take out 2 minutes and do that, please. Thank you. Absolutely. Some of us, our mothers were even the provider. Yes, they stayed due to what society would say. However, Apostle Femi is one of the first people to call out husbands. Okay, that's good. I think I've seen a video of him talking about men. Yeah, that's good actually. Hi, Yummy Kitchen Direct. My hobby is better than your or your husband. So, my dear, we thank God for that. My husband never asked me one day to submit. I willingly follow his lead because he has a good track record of having the best interest of his family, of me and the family. That is just the facts. If a woman sees that her husband is a leader, he's a helper, not just a leader, he's someone that he's leading the home, he's also making sacrifices for the home, he's willing to help out where he wants to help, where he needs to help out, there's no airs around him, he's not egotistical, he's just doing what he has to do. You must be a very stupid woman, to see such a man and take advantage of him. It means that something is wrong with you. Like, it means that they need to give you 24 strokes of the cane every day. If you stay with such a man he's a good leader, he's a good provider, he takes care of the kids. Not even, when I'm talking about providing, I don't even mean that your husband must, be the sole provider or must be the breadwinner. But everything he has, he's willing to lay it down for the family. One thing I always say about my husband that still baffles me till today, and most good men I know, including my father, they were like this. You hardly see my husband just cool down, be ordering shirts, buying trousers, buying jeans, buying top, buying the latest shoe. I don't even think my husband knows which one is the latest shoe. You hardly see my husband looking for the latest wristwatch, the latest this, trying to dress up, you hardly see him doing that. I never even saw my father doing that. My sister's husband, I don't even see him doing that. Like, these are men that, I'm not saying they don't dress well, though. They will buy good clothes, they will dress well, but they're not freaked by such things, right? But if you tell them today that you want to buy one shoe of how much, that might not even make sense. If they can afford it, they will carry that money and give to you. But you won't see them buying things for themselves. Sometimes, the reason why I don't ask my husband for money for some things is because I'm like, you self be considerate now. How many times have you seen this man now spending money the way you spend money, right? And he's the one that makes the bulk of the money. He's the one that brings the bulk of the money. So if you see such a man, or if you have such a man as your husband, you must be very, very daft for you to see such a man and take advantage of him or try to step on his head because he's a humble person or he's a quiet person. Because there are women like that, because their husbands are quiet, they're just doing their thing, they just want to be good men and just focus on their heavenly race. Because you see you have such a man, you now want to take advantage of him and now want to be stepping on his head and making decisions anyhow. Because like people like me too, I make most of the decisions in my home, not like, okay, let me say, not the most important decisions, but if we're thinking of where to live, it's still my choice. It's still going to be what I want that we're going to choose. If we're thinking of, where to eat or where to go or when to travel or when to which vacation spot or whatever it is that we're trying to decide in this house, in most cases, we're still going to fall back to what I want, right? Like, now me know the house, now me know the children, now me they do the whole thing. So, it's still what I want that still goes, right? I won't now say because of that, I will now be making decisions anyhow and just be jeopardizing my family anyhow. That is when you become a liability. If you guys follow me very well, you know that my own definition of a woman being liability is different from the world's or most people's definition. Most people's definition is a woman that is not making money. For me, that's not a liability. That one is just, she's not making money. And so for me, a liability is women that, some women, they are making money. Oh. They are rich women in quotes, but they just faithful see their money anyhow. You know, they call faithful see, they just waste money anyhow. They are making very bad investment decisions. They cannot just calm down and use their heads for once. Anything, there's anybody that just comes and need money, they'll just carry the money and give the person. They'll even carry their husband's money and spend it anyhow. That's a woman I will consider a liability. She's anywhere she goes, she's volatile. You are not sure whether today is going to be the day that she's going to disgrace you and your whole family, right? You cannot take your wife out without your heart pounding when she opens her mouth to speak. That's a liability. It's a woman that, just if if you receive phone call while your wife is out of the house, your heart will be beating that I hope she has not gone to fight on the streets, I hope she has not gone to, break somebody's head. I hope she has not gone to bash somebody's car. That's a liability, okay? She's taking your finances, she's taking your time, taking your energy, she's wasting your resources on rubbish. That's a liability, okay? So only stupid women will do that. But if you are a good woman and most sensible ladies follow the lead of their husbands. That's just the truth. If he's a good man, most sensible ladies just follow his lead, because who wants to come and suffer? Why do I want to take charge with the children, take charge with the finances, take charge with the house, take charge with the work, take charge with the... Why do I want to do that? Why? I know I come this life, can't suffer. Why do I want to do that? So if you have a good man that's taking charge of some of those things, you will be so happy to follow his lead. So let me see. My husband never asked me one day to submit. Okay, I've read that one. Which one is hobby is better than all your husbands? I think she's just joking. The problem is men generally don't put sentiments in their decisions, so everything has to favor them. But majority of women are emotional beings and naturally selfless. This is actually very true. So I feel like sometimes the reason why, well, if I really want to analyze it from my own thinking, I feel like God just made it a good balance, right? So women are usually more sentimental. Let me not say emotional, but women are usually more sentimental when they are doing things. Women are usually more considerate of other people's feelings, of what people will say, of how people will feel, of let's not look somehow. Women are usually the ones more concerned about how a particular decision will affect others, how a particular thing will look to the outside world, because we care about our reputation and all of that. Someone was saying that the way women fight is usually through destroying people's reputation, and that is so true. If you really think about it, the way women actually fight dirty is by destroying reputation, either gossiping about somebody or talking about somebody behind their back or spreading false news about somebody. Okay, so women usually care more about reputation than men. Men own is logic. Their own is that, does this make sense? They don't really want to see that, okay, it might not really make sense to you, but for the overall well-being of everybody, it makes sense to do this. So I feel like that's a good balance, right? It's good that you're not, because I mean, women are more sentimental. It doesn't mean that women are not logical, okay? It doesn't mean that I don't have sense. It doesn't mean that when he presents a logical situation to me, I will not see it as like it will make sense to me because I'm sentimental. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, women are more sentimental, but we are also capable of being logical. Like, we can also use our heads, right? And men also, even though they use their heads a lot, they can also understand the sentiments around some things. So it's a good balance to have, both parties working in the home. It's just that, again, going back to what I said, when the man is being too selfish and is always my way or the highway, that is when it becomes a problem, because it's no longer balanced, right? And when a woman is now taking advantage of, a man who is being who is basically just allowing you do your own thing, if you take advantage of that too, it's still only one side. It's not balanced as well. So it's just to learn how to balance these things. Let's see. Okay, the enemy is really taking this. If the men were priests of their homes and step up, let's divorce my sister. Exactly. Most men think of only providing for their family. It should be the least thing a man does. I'm telling you that there's so much, again, in this 21st century. Which century are we in now? In this day and age where women are earning as much as or even out earning men, finances should no longer be a huge factor in when you are considering the kind of person that you should marry, right? I'm not saying that finances are not important, but they're very, very important. Please don't get it twisted, okay? Money is a very beautiful thing. Money is a very beautiful thing. So I'm not saying we should not consider finances, right? But that disparity is no longer there like it used to be in those days, with women not having that much power and not having that many rights and stuff like that. Women generally were earning less than men. So it was then that, oh, you need a partner that can provide, you need to marry up, hypergamy and stuff like that. But in this day and age, you need to redefine hypergamy. Your hypergamy should no longer be about money now. It should be about other things, because statistically, the chances of you meeting a man who earns more than you is lower than it used to be, right? That is, yeah, you guys get it. So when you're thinking of marrying up, that up should be in intellect, it should be in, personality, character, how helpful he is, how hardworking he is, how domestic he is. Those are the things that you should now consider, because you're gonna be angry if you end up with the last person. Lamborghini. Oh, I feel like I'm way behind in reading this comment. So it's always about being his peace. Thank you, my dear. Boring is better than painful, painful, spicy cheating, or simply unavailable. Exactly. And you know one thing about life I've realized there. But this life, it's almost like that thing you don't have will always be. The grass is always greener on the other side, right? When you have a man who is boring in quotes, you want the spicy one. When you have the spicy one, you want the boring one. When you have a good marriage, you think that it could be better. When you now have a worse marriage, you now be wishing, like, is that eternal wanting? It's just, well, let's say it's the curse of man. Like, you're going to eternally want to. You have to actually condition yourself and control yourself to appreciate what you have and just manage your expectations. It's very difficult, but you have to do it. If not, your eyes are always going to be outside. And I feel like that is what a lot of men don't have, because they are used to not compromising, especially this generation that, or even the older generation mostly, they were used to not compromising. They were used to having things go their way. They were not used to doing much in the home. Mothers were always petting them. Fathers were always seeing them as more important, especially Igbo men. I'm still going to keep saying it. Especially Igbo men, they always saw them as, first son, he's a son, he's a man, this one, all those things. So because of it, they're not used to compromising. They're not used to even, trying to even help out. So at old age, it's difficult to teach such a thing. Oh, you should not insult yourselves in my comment section. Biko. You are right. In dating, nice guys come last. It's always bad boys that girls want. Yeah. Well, it's always bad boys that younger girls want, okay? Immature girls. By the time you grow up, by the time your eyes open, you will look for the good ones or the nice ones. Okay. True, boring is better. My husband has no friends, just his brothers, and he's with me everywhere sometimes. Yeah, I tell him, don't follow me. Oh. I'm coming and Shasha. I'm happy with it. Yeah. Do you know, sometimes I don't even want to talk about this thing, Sha, but we need to say this thing so that women will know that it is possible. I've never had that issue of, I don't know where my husband is. Oh, I don't know where my husband is. Oh. I've never had it for one day. Not even when we were dating, not even now. I've never had that issue of, hey, he's always going out late. I say, now me, they go out late for my house. Now me, they go out, and I'm not even an outgoing person. No. But if anybody were to go out and come back late, it will be me. Because 7 o'clock is already in the house, no matter what he's doing, no matter where he goes, except maybe what, maybe church in the evening, or maybe once in a while when his colleagues want to take him out. In fact, he will tell me that his colleagues want to take him out. He wants to go out. I'll say, okay, oh yeah, be going now. Wish you well. Go and have fun. 7:30, somebody is driving back into the compound. I'll be like, I don't understand. Was the catfish even ready before you left? Did they even start? Like, had the suya man even finished setting up before you left? He'll just be like, I don't like going out at night, right? So he even tell his colleagues or tell his friends, anything you're inviting me for, I don't like staying out late. So when you have such a man, why will you now be worried? Do you get? Why will you now be worried? So at the end of the day, some things that women complain about, a lot of my friends too don't even have such complaints. So it's very possible for you to marry a good man. Just open your eyes. When you are searching, search well. Don't be looking at all those frivolous things and all those what they call it, superficial things. Okay, because at the end of the day, if you marry a man because he's fine, that beauty or that handsomeness will fade. If you marry him because he has money, you will get used to the money. That's if you don't even start out earning him at some point, but you will get used to that money, even if he's still richer than you will get used to that money and you start wanting more. So please open your eyes very well. Oh. Very true. Let me see. Very true, Adeze. The boyfriend chats a lot before he was married, and for sure he will be still chatting once he marry you. Exactly. Nessa says good men are usually boring. They just want to worship their god, their wives. Yes, provide, be a great dad. Post on social media once every eclipse. Thank you. If you see my husband's social media page, yeah, you will laugh and tire. I went there recently. The picture he has there is of Cora. When Cora did 1 year, I think she was like almost 2, where she did traditional something in her school. That's the picture that he has there. Like, so boring, so dry. Yeah. Meanwhile, his mates are posing. Yeah, mates are posing with outfits, posing with their wives. This was nothing. Come back home every day and wound you with care. Thank you. Peace of mind, bliss. Thank you. Thank you. Neze gets it. If you watch her just small self, you get it. Neze gets it. Do you know one thing that someone commented in my post that where did Neze, me, Nelo, Nazom, they mentioned some YouTubers that where did we find our husbands from? That let her go there and go and look for her own husband, right? And one thing that just clicked for me when I saw that comment was that the truth is most men that will allow their wives to just do social media are usually good men. If you really think about it, I'm not saying that the bad ones will not do, but I'm saying probability of a man or probability that a man who allows his wife to social media is a good man is higher, because such men, they're just like, well, do your own thing. Me, I don't really care. Is men that are always so particular about getting things their own way. I mean, don't put me out there. Don't put my picture there. Don't put my face there. Don't put my leg there. They're the ones that will be stopping their wives from doing stuff, right? I'm just saying generally. So yeah, it makes sense that it's women who are happy in their marriages and will be happy to post about it. That's what I'm just trying to say in that aspect, though. I'm not saying that people don't come and fake it, but generally, let's say you're on point. Yes, peace of mind is a currency. I'm telling you, I'm the spy, so sometimes my head doesn't correct. And I thank God for the kind of husband that is accepting of me. This is one of the main reasons I'm a huge advocate of women not pretending. Thank you. I always say this thing now. You are pretending. Can you pretend forever? That's number one. Number two, maybe that's your real personality is what they are looking for. I keep saying this thing. You'll see some men that are very quiet, nice, good men, nice, quiet men. They don't want trouble. They just want peace. They're just, making their money and doing their own thing, right? You will see it is Ajakaja they will go and marry. It is fire kaka. That's what they want to go and marry, okay? It's the woman that is out there that is like this, peperempe. Like Neze, it's peperempe that they actually want. But you are there pretending. Sister, wait, you tie scarf from here, cover your eyebrow, join. Meanwhile, that's not who you are. Like, if that's who you are, that's fine. No, that's not who you are, because you're pretending because you go out, you cannot laugh, you cannot talk well, you cannot eat well, you cannot do anything well because you want the man to like you, you don't want him to look at you as this thing. I'm sorry, you're missing out. You're missing out on your real partner. You're missing out. Why do you want to? I remember I had this conversation. In fact, I've had this several times with people, right? About, whether you should tell your partner some secrets about you. Now, I'm not saying that when you just meet a man, you just open your mouth and just spill out everything that has happened in your life since you were born. No. Okay, but when you are about to marry a man, when like it's set. Because people like me, we did not post picture until it was very, very set. We did not come and start announcing new boyfriend alert. Mbakwa is where it was. In fact, we've already done intro and all those things before I started posting, right? So when it is set, I feel like that's the time that you should actually show your true colors and tell the guy everything, so that if he wants, let him accept you. If he doesn't want to, let him go his own way, so that you don't live your life with, I can't imagine not being myself with my husband. Hey, is that not death? If you can't be with yourself, if you can't be yourself with your husband, your forever partner, that's the person you're supposed to live the rest of your life with. The person you're supposed to be sleeping with every day, exchanging saliva with, exchanging bodily fluids with, seeing every day in your weakest, where you are giving birth with your vagina open like this. With everything open like this, both those that gave 2 years, he still saw you, they cut everything. He has seen your insides. Then you now want to be pretending with such a man. How? That's, to me, that's like stress. That's life sentence for me. So be yourself, be your true, show your true colors, show it very well. Let the man accept you for who you are. Okay. It doesn't even mean that even though a man accepts you for who you are, that he won't wish some things about you can change. He will wish some things about you can change. That is why it's good to, you know, grow with your partner, right? So as you're changing, he's changing. If you are married today, if you've been married for any stretch of time, even if it's like 1 year, you can attest to the fact that your husband of 1 year ago is not the husband you have now, right? We always say men don't change, men don't change. They do kind of change. They do change. Like in their core, they will not change, but you know, some outward expressions of their personalities will change. Okay. So for instance, you might have a husband who is very, very quiet, right? But because of you, he will now start trying to interact more just because of you, right? So in that aspect, he has changed his outward expression of his personality, right? So as much as we say men don't change, they actually kind of change. So if you've been married for a while, you will see that your husband that you married 10 years ago is not the same person that you are married to right now. Okay. And same thing with you. Who you were 10 years ago is not who you're going to be right now. So the fact that the person accepted you for who you are does not mean you should now remain there and say, me, everybody knows that me. I don't have sense. My head is not correct. Everybody knows that. So you will now leave yourself. I mean, some of us know that we have issues here and there, and some of us are trying to change it. It's not an overnight thing. You will still be making mistakes, you will still be showing yourself here and there, your brain will still be touching here and there, right? But we know that is wrong, and when we make those mistakes, we apologize and we just we feel bad and we feel sober. Okay, like an addict. Like an addict that mistakenly goes and does cocaine or whatever. When you realize that what you did was bad, you will apologize and you feel sober and you'll try to change your ways, right? But not that you say, everybody knows that is who I am. I don't agree for anybody. So me, I cannot change. I'm sorry. That means you don't have sense. I'm sorry. But that means you're a foolish person if you say I cannot change for anybody. Oh. No, you have to change for somebody. And this goes for both men and women. You have to change for somebody. What do you mean you cannot change for anybody? This is the way I am. Everybody knows me the way I am. Even my parents know me. My parents, I don't take rubbish from anybody. So before somebody says one, you said 10. And women do this thing a lot, okay? And we discussed this thing the other time when I was talking about, women being women who give excuses. I think that was pastor, the other pastor. Why does it feel as if I've been bashing pastors recently or analyzing pastors? But anyway, Pastor Jerry, there's some women that their head is not correct and they accept that their head is not correct and they don't want to change. They feel like, no, that's how I am. Or I don't take nonsense from anybody. If you say one, I will say 10. It doesn't say well of you. You're not portraying yourself in the best light, because as an adult, as a mature person that is functioning in a society, you should also be considerate of other people, right? I'm not saying that you should not live your life for other people, but you should be considerate of other people. So it's not everywhere you'll be showing yourself. When the time comes, because there's always going to be time for you to show yourself, there are always going to be real instances or real triggers that everybody that has eyes and ears knows that, okay, you were actually wrong. Then, hey, in such situations, you give them the madness, but not every small thing. You're just like, no, I don't, I say my mind. You are just a mad person. You're not a mad person. Like, your brain cannot hold anything. Anything that enters your brain falls out of your mouth. It's not a good thing. No, it's not a flex. It's not the flex that you think it is. So, yeah, no one should come for me. It's God that is helping me. Okay, let me see. I think I show him exactly who you are. Don't be afraid that you will scare him off. Most mature men will understand that you are human. Yeah, as long as you're working towards just, maturing and having a good personality, it's okay. This life is worth our time. If you agree, give this video a thumbs up. Oh, thank you, Dimma. Please, you guys, give this video a thumbs up. Unfortunately, I met and have babies with the worst quiet Igbo man, because I used to hear Igbo do not leave their children. Igbo men care for their wives and children. Okay. So I think she's saying that she married a man who does not care for his children, unlike what we used to think about Igbo men. The truth is that I think I had this conversation recently with my mom, or whoever. I was telling her that one of those days when we used to say, Igbo men are this, so you must marry an Igbo man. My dear, I've seen some Igbo men these days that are no longer have those values that we used to value Igbo men for. So please, anywhere you see husband, marry. If you see better husband, anywhere you see him from, just marry. Because there's some Igbo men now that are just taking a piece, right? Hi Ada. I know they pretend at all. Exactly. Hi. Oh, Nekoda, right? Thank you. How are you? I always see your comment on my video, always. My husband is the calm and I am the storm. He is Zobo and I am spicy Jolosha. Yes, they go well together. There is balance and God put us together for that reason. Yes, and that's why I always advise women that your husband, yes, respect your husband, yes, submit to your husband, whatever, revere your husband or whatever. I'm not saying you should not respect your husband, right? But at the same time, you are doing your husband a disservice if you are a yes woman. I always say this thing. You are doing your husband a great disservice. How can I see my husband doing something wrong and I will not say anything because I don't want to offend him? Oh God, be offended. Be offended. We will wake up. Be offended. I always say the only person that I used to fight with in this life very well. Because me, when it comes to other people, well, whatever, I can let you go. I don't really care. When it comes to my husband, be offended, Oga. Because I want the best for you. I want you to be a better person while I'm also being a better person. Okay. So if I see you do something wrong, or if you bring up an idea that doesn't really make sense to me, I will question it. Why should we do this thing this way? Do you know how many things I've saved my husband from just because I questioned him? Do you know how he even used to say itself? Do you know how many things I saved him from? Because men sometimes are always very forward thinking, they're very straight thinking. They just see something they like or they want or they feel is good and they're diving head first. They don't really consider other hazards. But you as a woman, you have already seen other angles that he's not seen. So when you bring up those angles, it does not mean that you're being unsubmissive or you're being whatever, you're questioning him. No, why should we do this in this way? Have you considered this way? Have you considered that way? Why don't we do it this way? A sensible man will consider your opinion and adjust the decision based on that. Okay. So you're doing your husband a great disservice if you decide to not use the sense that God gave you. Again, I keep asking, why did God give you sense? Why did God make you intelligent? If you cannot use it for anything, if you're just going to be a yes woman, if your husband tells you we're doing this, yes sir, yes my lord, if we're doing that, yes sir, some women will be complaining behind, if I talk now he will say this one, oh, let me not talk, or let me just allow him. No, my dear, no. I married a human being, okay, no be God. Even God said, people they question God. Maybe they say Joseph, is it Joseph? Who fought with God? It's not Jacob that they say he wrestled God. People, human being, they wrestle God and they survive. He didn't strike them dead. So who are you that cannot question you? So at the end of the day, like women, we need to step up. Oh, you can't be there saying, my husband now, if you just talk now, he'll be offended. Please, oh, I don't want him to be offended. Oh, hey, let me just go with the flow. Anything he says I should do, I will do, so that he will not let him be offended. Let him be offended. I beg. You are actually doing him a big disservice. And if you're a man, if you're watching this or whatever, and you don't consider your wife's inputs in any way, shape, or form, you're not being smart. Oh, that's actually foolishness, if you ask me, because you should have just stayed alone. You should have. Why did you have to go and get married? What was the point? What was the reason? Why did you have to go and get married? Especially those men that go and marry very driven women, very hardworking women, very, I'm not saying that there's some women that are actually not like that. Okay, we know them. There's some women that all they want in this life is just to just be coasting and they don't want to use their brain or anything. I mean, they exist. They're not many, but they exist, right? But some men will go out, they'll see a woman that is thriving in her business, thriving in her job, thriving in school. For some of us that were married from school, right? You saw me in school. I was doing very well. I was, reading. I was trying very hard. I passed very well with flying colors. I come out. I'm doing very well. I'm a sensible human being. You see me thriving and doing well in my own field. You decide that you like me. You like that thing about me. You like the way I am. You now come and marry me. Then when I now enter your house or our house, I'm now supposed to now dumb myself down. I'm supposed to now kill my personality, kill my intellect, everything. I'm supposed to wrap it up in a nylon bag and dump it in my father's house, then follow you without my brain. It's not possible, right? So at the end of the day, you should actually consider your wife. You have to consider your wife. There's a reason why God gave you that woman. You have to consider her. There's so many ways that you are missing out in this life if you're not listening to your wife. Okay? Not even just that you're not listening to her. You should actually seek her opinion. Not just wait for her to give you the opinion. Even if you're not giving the opinion, go and actively seek it. Ask her, my love, what do you think about this, and this? What do you think about this, and this? When she now gives you what she thinks about those things, you consider it and weigh it with what you think. And if what she says makes more sense, you go with it. That's what will make the woman respect you. That's what will make her love you. That's what will make her, cherish you and want to do everything for you. And that's one thing about women. If you treat a woman right, she can remove the bra she's wearing. She can remove the pants she's wearing just for another person for you to make it in this life or be happy. She can give you her all. She can give you everything that she owns because she knows that when she gives it to you, you're not going to disappoint. You're not going to misuse those, things she gives to you, whether they are resources or her emotions or her whatever. You're not going to misuse it. You're not going to abuse it. So she will give you her all. But if you're a man that every time she wants to give you opinion, you are combating the opinion. I talked about this things recently on my Instagram. There are some men that, a lot of men actually, in fact, men in general, when you tell them something, their first instinct is to say no, but they want to see the other angle. Okay. I tell my husband sometimes that do it because I said it. Don't just do it because it makes sense to you. It might not make sense to you, like I said before. Some things are not exactly logical, right? But they are not stupid ideas either. Okay. I remember, was not, I think it was yesterday, I was listening to a message, and the person was saying that why do people feel like logic is the highest form of, is not knowledge now? I've forgotten the word he used. Why do people feel like logic is the highest form? There is actually a form above logic, which is faith, but that has to do with religion now, right? Which is faith, but that's religion, right? However, bringing it down to this topic, not everything that is logical is good, right? Not everything that is logical that is good. So, for instance, let me give you an example, which which now looking back, I'm like, omo, now wow. I remember when my father-in-law died and we went for my father-in-law's burial, they now called me to come to the kitchen or something. I was with my husband, they told me to come to the kitchen, right? So I went to the back. I saw some women there that were cooking and all of that. They were not asking me, oh, when am I coming to join them and stuff like that. My husband said, join them for what? He told me I should go and sit down inside. Oga carried me and left that place. Me too, I followed as a mumu that I was that time. I followed him, right? Not like I was a mumusha, but I mean, I followed my husband. And he told me not to go. Me self, I didn't want to go because I didn't even want to go there before. Like all those women, I didn't know them, and they wanted me to come and cook. I beg. He told me I should not go. I should come and stay inside. Or which one is I should go and cook firewood for what? So me too, I now left. Right? That was logical thing for him. It was like she doesn't need to be here cooking with you people. You guys, we are already. They've already outsourced the job to you people. It's actually your job. She doesn't have to be there. That's the logical thing. However, was that really the right thing in that situation? Looking back now, no. I should have actually just gone there and just pretend, help and open Maggie, help and cut onions, just for that time. I'm not talking about now. Now I don't even care. I won't even come there and say hi, self. But for that time, I was a new wife now. I should just, try to do all those things. It will foster the relationship, it will foster the love of those women, okay? Even though they don't really have any bearing on my life today. I mean, I don't even remember them. I don't even think any of them even care about me, right? I'm just saying it would have just fostered that relationship, at least for that time being, right? Nothing happened to me. Nobody came to harass me or anything. They didn't even complain about it. Maybe, those kind of things now, because it's the man that pulled me away, they will just whisper amongst themselves. They will not say it out, right? But let's say I was the one that now came out by myself, they might have escalated it or whatever. Anyway, the point is that it was a logical thing that he did. There was no repercussion for it per se, but it would have been better if I had just joined them, right? So at the end of the day, it's not everything that is logical that you must do because this is this is the logical thing to do. No, there's some things that you just do for sentimental reasons, just to foster relationships. Especially, I can go on and on with this topic because my husband is very, very logical. There are sometimes that maybe my child wants something, right? I know that this thing, you're not supposed to have it. I know, of course, like, okay, sometimes they want their tab. Okay, we know that we said we'll not give them tab for whatever. I know. But in this situation, the child is not happy. The child is bored. The child is sad. Just give them for 1 hour. I'm going to be like, no. They should learn to do that. I'm like, I know what is the right thing that they should learn to do. But this is a child. How would the child understand that you are trying to instill? Anyway, it's just there's always that push and pull of logic versus faith in quotes. Some things you just do for good faith, not because it makes sense logically. Yeah, okay, let me read some comments. Okay, where did I stop? Where was I? Okay. Okay, one thing. Oh, wish I could stay, but we are heading to the mall. Oh, thank you. Bye. Okay, exactly, Ada. Change is in perspective, but the point I think is that he basically values. Okay, but the basic values they had will still be there, probably even improved. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, they will change. They change, but not the basic values. I think that's what you're trying to say. They'll change their perspective, but not their basic values. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, she's actually right. So that's why it's always good for you to marry a man that has values that match yours. It doesn't have to be good values, in my own opinion. No. As long as it matches yours. If you believe in some kind of nonsense, if he also believes in the nonsense, both of you should marry each other. Okay. Don't go and look for a man that doesn't believe in those things and then be trying to change him. No. If both of you believe in devil, both of you, both of you should make sure you're marrying someone that believes in devil too. Okay, as in whatever. Anyway, you guys get the point. Okay. One thing my pastor said is to question your husband, but you cannot follow him into sin. Exactly. You will voice your disagreement and can decide to still follow. But if he is leading you into sin, don't go. Exactly. Heaven is the goal. Okay, God is still the ultimate. The Bible is still the standard. The word of God is still the focus, right? So you cannot say that because God said you should submit to your husband. Your husband is doing nonsense. You too, you will now open your eyes and follow. Like, you will answer for yourself. You will answer for yourself. So you have to actually question some things. I'd rather have a boring man, but we have peace and love in the home. Drama boys are not my piece of cake. I'm telling you, the older you get, the more you will look at some things and you'll be like, eh? So this is what some people like. So this is what floats their boats. Wow. I believe this is what rocks their boats. What a wow. Let me see. This is my life. Does it still work? Okay. You guys, I've almost reached 2 hours, so I need to go and give my family members food. I'd rather have okay, no, I've read this one. Most men will listen or at least learn from that mistake. Exactly. My ex-Igbo man do not like it when he brings up a plan and you give him an input. He will say, allow me to fail and learn. That's that's not even good there. That's not even good there. Which one's allow me to fail and learn? If you would have failed on your own, you'd have just stayed on your own and be failing on your own. Not when I'm there and I know better. And do you know how hard it is for a woman to keep quiet when she knows better just because she's trying to keep the peace? Mbao, that's very difficult. Also, I think we can communicate to our husbands when they do wrong as long as it is respectful. Exactly. It's yeah, yes, you have a good point, Sha. Because sometimes the reason why some men will lock up is because of your tone and because of the way they will. In fact, some men would rather die. They would rather do the wrong thing than for them to change because of your tone. Do you get? So your tone is very important. You should be respectful. Even though sometimes I'll be like, I beg, is it because of what I just said? Why can't you just listen to me and forget the tone? But it's not easy for them to forget the tone. No. So yeah, we should always have the full clip, understand the full perspective before jumping into conclusion. Did he say a woman's life is at risk? She should stay for her children. Well, we can't really find the full clip here. That's number one. But number two is that, you know, we have to analyze what we can see now. Well said, looking good as always. Thank you. God forbid, Lord. Mind you, some of that his failure are very costly to him and his family for a long period. An egotistic Igbo man who never takes any opinion from me. That's so bad. How can you open your eyes and fail your family just because you want to prove a point? To who? To who? If you understand what marriage is very, very deep. Oh. Marriage is very, very deep. When they say the two shall become one, it literally means the two shall become one. So how do you fail yourself because you want to prove a point to yourself? Not be madness with that. How do you beat yourself because you're like it is madness? Okay, it's literal madness. So if you understand marriage that way and you see that two of you are supposed to become one, there's some things that will not be a factor. There's some things that even if this one about even this one we said about your tone or whatever, yes, you should be respectful. I mean, because he's a human being. But however, from the man's perspective now, even if your wife's tone is off, right? If you listen to what she has to say and what she has to say makes sense, still do it. Correct her tone. Tell her about her tone. But it doesn't mean that you should now throw away the baby with the bathwater just because you can. So if you really see yourself and your wife as one, there's so many things you will not do. So many. If you see your husband as one, as yourself, there are so many things we will not do. It's just that it takes a while sometimes for people to actually see themselves as one. Beginning of marriages are usually rocky for some people. Funny enough, my beginning of my marriage was not really rocky. Oh. I don't even think I think my first major disagreement in my marriage came like maybe 4 years later or 5 years later. Like seriously, while some people that first 1 year is almost like, why did I do this shit? So women have packed bags in 1 year of marriage, they've begged them to come back, and they now lived happily ever after, right? But for me, that was not my own case. So it was like maybe 5 years we now had major disagreements, but not even packing back kind of disagreement. It was just like, what's this now? Anyway, faith is the highest. Yeah. Watching from South Africa, I am loving the conversation. On behalf of young people, stress kills, depression is real, and so is suicide. Yes, if a man is stressing you up to this level, please leave him, my dear. A word is enough for the wise. Okay, there are so many ways a person can die without dying physically. It's what I said earlier. There are so many ways. It doesn't mean that somebody must beat you to death before you say that that man actually killed the woman, or beat the woman to death before you say the man killed the woman. There are so many ways a woman can die at the hands of her husband that is not direct, you know, physical assault. I have a friend that is having mother-in-law issue that could have been solved by doing some simple things that wouldn't have taken anything from her, but would have made an impact on how she's viewed. Exactly. This is the point I was trying to make with not everything that is logical must be. It's not every time you're standing your ground, not every time you're trying to prove a point. What are you proving points for? What are you proving points for? If you know that this thing is going to, make people happy, and it's not costing you anything. I mean, it's not costing you your value, it's not costing you your time, or it's not costing you like something serious. It might cost you your time or your money, but it's not costing you something like it's not conflicting with your soul. Then just go ahead and do it. It's not everything that must be A plus one, one plus one is two, A plus B is, no, not everything is logic all the time. That's why I said women and men bring, most times they bring two different angles to a marriage. Okay, if you follow what is logical all the time, you're going to have a very, very, somehow relationship with yourself and even with the world, right? And if you follow emotions all the time, you will just, women, we know that one, right? If you follow emotions all the time, you'll just be entrapping yourself in different kinds of relationships that you're not supposed to entrap yourselves in, right? Just because you want, no, you want peace, you want everybody to be happy, you will just be bringing all kinds of wahala to yourself. So sometimes it's actually good to listen to your husband, right? But there's that balance, there's that dance. As long as both of you are sensible, you should know, where the limit should be. You know that say marriage is the only school. Okay, you know that saying that. Okay, heaven is the goal. Yeah, you know that saying that marriage is the only school course examination that you get your certificate before going through it. Exactly. You learn your lessons after. You go through the classes after you have collected certificate. And Niger Soldier's wife said oneness is sweet. I'm telling you, oneness is sweet. Marriage is sweet. I don't know how to explain this thing to people without sounding somehow. Marriage is sweet, though. Oneness is sweet. Knowing that you have your person. I was telling who recently said that sometimes I now see my husband as my family member, like my blood, like not to explain it. There are times I'm like, wait, how did I end up in this place with this man and these children? Who are all of you? There are a few times I feel that way. I'll just turn and see my children. I'm like, when did I have children this big? Who is this man? Why is my son name different? Like, what is going on here? There are times like that, right? But there are a lot of times that I just look at my life and I look at my husband, look at my family, and I'm like, so this is all mine. These are my people. I don't know how to explain it. Like, these are my people. Even if the world wants to be mad tomorrow, especially since we got to this UK, even if nobody wants to talk to me in this UK, I have 4 people that will always talk to me. It's sweet, I beg. I have 4 people that have my back, that love me, that see me as the best things in sliced bread. No matter how even if everywhere there's war, God forbid, but even if there's war and there's fire burning everywhere, inside my home is quiet, it's peaceful, is love, there's harmony. Please, my dear, I can't trade it for the world. So when I hear that some women are just living anyhow, I'm like, are you well? Are you well for you to just live for flimsy reasons? Are you well? So do you know what you are letting go of? So for a woman to live in most cases, there's something. There's something. I'm not saying you should allow yourself to be taken advantage by in-laws, but apply wisdom and play the long game. I'm telling you. Also, a husband that is wise and loves you will set the tone on how his family treats you. This is 100% correct. A lot of women who complain about in-law matter, in-law matter. I'm like, what was your husband doing? What did your husband say about it? What is your husband telling his family? You know what? How does he treat his family? So sometimes the reason why your in-laws can get to you is because the door is open, the bridge has been opened. Okay, the husband has left the door open, and then they're coming to attack you. But if he shuts that door and they know that for them to get to you, they have to go through him, and if they do anything wrong to you, they have him to contend with, they're not going to misbehave. I'm telling you. Like what I said, even though that village thing, I was like, I should just go to help them and cook. Nobody said "pakam" to me. Nobody, not even one. I never even heard. Maybe it's even my guilty conscience. Maybe they didn't even see it as bad. Maybe it's my guilty conscience that's even worrying me. But nobody had the guts to even come and hear and tell me, why did you not come to cook? Anyway, they know my husband now. They know that one safe. And it's sweet when your in-laws know who you married. Like they know their son. So, so it's some in-laws can be disingenuous when they try to blame the wife for anything, for everything, right? But there are so many families where they know their son. In fact, they're even pitying you, the wife. They're like, I don't even know how you are dealing with this, our son. They know their son. So when some things happen, they are not quick to come and blame the wife because they know who their child is. So that's the best. Let me see. The beginning was sweet for me, or the storm. Okay, let me do it. I think I've passed. Okay. It's really about seeing your spouse as one with you. Yeah, it may not be that easy because you are both from different backgrounds. Yeah, I mean, it's not easy. It's not even a 10 years in marriage thing or a 20 years in marriage thing. It's a forever thing. You're going to forever be, battling that cultural upbringing effect on your marriage, right? So his upbringing, your upbringing, your culture, his culture, his personality, your personality, his vision, your vision, like all those kind of things. You're still going to be having that clash, but with time it gets better. With time it gets better. Like the more time is passing, the more you're understanding him, the more he's understanding you, the more some things are no longer shocking you, the more the snoring sounds like music in your ears, the lullaby, like the more the snoring even puts you to sleep, right? So those things that in the beginning of marriage is like, how did I end up with this man? Hey, I want to go. Hey, daddy, come and save me. Mommy, come and save me. As time goes on, you see yourself adjusting, you see him adjusting, he's changing, you're changing. By the time you get to like 30 years, I can't even imagine what my marriage would be like in 30 years. It would just be like what they call it, or it should be like what they call it, autopilot. Like something should just be working on autopilot. There's some fight that I can't even imagine having at 30, as in 30 years in marriage. There's some fight that I can't even imagine. That's why I feel so sad when I see some women who have been enduring marriage for 30 years, you're enduring 40 years. I read one story one time of a woman that was killed by her husband, and the man was 70 something, she was 60 something. And I was like, I can't even imagine at 60 something, you are still being beaten by your husband. Not like being beaten when you're younger is better, but I'm just saying, like, so they were beating you since 10 years, you still stayed. 20 years, you still stayed. 30 years, you still stayed. Until they now killed you there. Waiting you again. Waiting you self, when you reach heaven, you need to answer second. Like they should bring you back a second time to ask you questions again. Because with all the resources God has given you, with all the brain He has given you, with all the people He has put in your lives, with all the way the world has so advanced, you couldn't live. You couldn't live. Oh, I will never get it though. Marriage is so sweet. Pack back. My ex-Igbo man. this your husband has collected, or your ex. He has collected this thing today. Like we need to table his matter. Okay. Once he beat me up while I was recovering from CS. Jesus. They called the police to say I am being violent. I caught him naked on video call talking with another woman. Yeah. Do you know, sometimes I used to ask myself, is it that some men just cool down, go and marry their enemies? Like you hate somebody, then be like, that's the exact person I'm going to marry, because make it make sense. How do you beat a woman that's How do you even beat a woman? Not even say that. How do you beat a woman? Not talk of one that's just recovering from CS from giving birth to your child. I'm like, is that men just cool down? Just some men will just cool down and be like, I like this girl. I like this girl. I like this one. Nah, I don't like this one. That's the one I'm going to marry. Because that's what it sounds like sometimes. If your husband has your back, no in-law can misbehave around you. I'm telling you, like they can't. They might do it behind your back, or they might be whispering amongst themselves, but they will never bring it near you. Like you will just be coasting. You will be enjoying your life. So this is what you are up to every night while staying in another room. Was my offense for him beating me up. Imagine. This reminds me of that story of that video that trended where a lady said that a man beat up his wife, beat her to death basically because she cooked beans and the beans was not ready or something like that. But the beans was not soft enough. But the thing is, if you can love your children as much as you love yourself, you can show that love towards your spouse. And we should be careful with comparing our spouses with other people. Yes, exactly. See, if there's one thing I've learned in marriage, is that the grass is not greener anywhere else. I'm sorry, the grass is not greener anywhere else. Now, I mean amongst sensible people, okay? Amongst people that are intelligent and are good people, okay? Amongst like normal, you don't even have to be a fantastic human being. Among normal people who don't have these terrible vices, they're not cheating, they're not stealing, they're not killing, they're not beating you, amongst people that are normal, the grass is not greener on the other side. There's no point comparing. Jide Nkiji, okay? Nkijika, Abi, is that not the way they say it? Nkemjika, the one I have is better. Jide Nkeji, okay, that one you have is actually better. Hold on to your own very well, okay? Because that man that you feel, I don't like the way, or you're comparing him to social media. Hey, this is my friend's husband, or this person's husband behaves like this. Why can't my husband behave like this now? Do you know the nonsense her own husband is doing that she did not come and tell you? Even me on this live now that I've been telling you my husband is this and that. Do you know the plenty nonsense that I've not come to tell people about? You don't know, right? Because I'm not here to come and start blaming his matter. Like it's not a sensible thing for me to come and start airing my husband out there. No, you don't know what I'm enduring that you cannot endure. So don't even be comparing, and there's nothing that even kills a man's what they call name morale more than being compared to another man. Like nothing, I don't think any man can stand it except a nonsense man, except a nonsense man. Maybe a nonsense man that can stand it because he wants something from you that once he gets, he will now go and get a lady that will be stroking his ego. That's the truth. And comparison is the thief of joy. I'm telling you, at this point in my marriage, everything is now a joke. Both of us are now jokers. I'm telling you, that's it. But then there's a level you will get to. It's like everything is just like I beg. All those things that used to tear your singlet for those days. Now it's like I beg. It's like, so you're still doing this thing. Like, are you not even tired? You just move on, I beg. She says, I love you, Ada. You're so smart. Thank you. Absolutely. The grass is never green. No, I'm telling you, comparison. Yeah, grass is greener where it is watered. Stop comparing and look at others. Just work on your own and make it better. Yes, and be contented. Be contented with what you have. Okay, be contented with what you have because at the end of the day, God has a reason for giving you the man that He gave you. Okay, if it is God that gave you, some of you went to go and steal another person's husband, but don't be me talk am sha. But if you are with your own husband that God gave you on a platter of gold, right? God has a reason for giving you the man that He gave you. Some of you, the man that you think that you'd have been better off with, you would have been miserable. Even though he's good with someone else, he would have been bad for you. So just focus on your focus, my dear. Face your own. You have no idea how a person is like behind closed doors. I'm telling you, you have no idea. And remember that people have different thresholds for nonsense. So what you might feel like is a deal breaker, I can't tolerate this. Another woman will be chopping it with mayonnaise on top. She will add ketchup on top to make it palatable, and she will swallow all those nonsense that you cannot even imagine swallowing. Even me as a lady, I hate comparison. Nobody should compare me with anybody. I'm telling you, nobody should compare. That's what I'm even teaching my children now. If you come and tell me, Mommy, I need this because the person in my class has it, I will never buy that thing for you. Never, ever. If it's because your friend has this thing, that's why you want it, then you will never get it. So you're better off just coming to tell me to buy something for you, and I'll choose whether to buy it or not. But if you think that telling me your friend has it will now convince me, then that's the more reason why I'll never buy it. You will learn to suppress your long throat. You will suppress your long throat. No. The ones I'm facing are my own to face. I don't want your problem, just like the one is facing is his to face. Exactly. Exactly. You have no idea how okay, I've read this one. Okay. 5 years in a week's time. Oh wow. And from the day we chose to relate with our extended families this way, if anyone from his side needs something, they speak with him, not me, and vice versa. I'm telling you, do what works for you, okay? Do what works for you in your marriage. There are some people that, it is easier for the wife to relate with the in-laws directly. Again, like I keep saying, they know a lot of families know their son, right? There are some sons that they don't send their mothers, they don't send their in-laws, they're only just focusing on their wife and their children. They don't care, right? So it's now the wives that you see trying to bring them closer, trying to, foster that relationship with them. And the in-laws appreciate it because they know that this their son no send them like that, right? So just do what works for you. While in some marriages, is you focus on your family, me I focus on my own family. If they need anything, they ask me, and I will now ask you if I need your help, or if I don't need your help, I'll just handle it on my own, right? So just do what works for you. It's also common knowledge to both sides that we discuss everything. So he will say, I'll speak with my wife and get back to you. This has helped with setting boundaries. I'm telling you, see, when you see men that can't set boundaries in their with their in-laws, as in with their family members, better run. Oh, if you're still in dating stage, better run. If a man cannot set boundaries, like you are just ordinary dates, you are dating the man, they are calling you from the village to be asking you one thing or the other. They're already having issues with you. And the way you spoke to me, somehow, the way you talk to me, just from dating stage, my dear sister, run. Oh, and they have the audacity to come and meet you, because there's a different case if they have issues with you, but that they can't say it to your face. But when they have the audacity to come and meet you and be airing their grievances and be fighting with you, you never even enter, my sister. And you've told him about it, he knows about it, and he's like, just leave there. That's how they are now. They've always been like that. My sister, run. Oh. Anna, thank you so much for this topic. All right, you guys, this is almost 8 p.m. Hey, hunger will finish my family. Even though it's not long, they had pizza, so that's why I can actually get to this time. But I ideally like my children to eat before. In fact, normally we eat by 7 o'clock. After everybody eats, everybody goes to bed. Well, go and stay in your room. Even if you don't sleep, at least stay in your room. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for joining. I really, really appreciate this video. You missed today's. Okay, sure, you didn't join from beginning. The replay will be there, Sha. I really appreciate all your inputs. I was supposed to paste the link. I forgot. I was supposed to paste the link so you guys can call in, but let's leave it till next week. Next week, I might do it in the morning because I feel like I have so many videos to film that next week, Saturday. So I'll film it in the morning. I'll do this live in the morning so you guys can call in, or I can just try and do it in the evening, because I like the fact that some of you, like someone said she's from Calgary. I like the fact that some of you from, America and Canada can join in, because I have a lot of watchers from America and Canada. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I love you guys. See you in my next live or the next video. Bye, guys. Bye, bye, bye. This was very interesting. Have a great evening with your family. Thank you. You too. You can run.